A Mass Effect dev came out to say EA only cares about the highest returns. EA doesn't care about what players actually want. They only care about what players will pay for. This was said by Manu Ferrer. Apparently, he's been in the industry for a while. He's worked on high-profile AAA games. He's now an independent developer. He's also known for most of his work in Bioware and Mass Effect 3. And he also did some stuff for Mass Effect Andromeda. I wouldn't really admit to that. Hare recently sat down and spoke with Austin Walker and Daniela Rideau to discuss EA and the closure of Visceral Games. You can have a link to the audio file for it, the podcast of sorts. It's from Vice, and it was real hard for me to actually sit through. It would have been nice if someone timestamped it, simply because I find the host quite annoying. You know, that super over-the-top, happy, clean sort of radio vibe they're presenting.
EA shutting down game studios has no idea how to manage properly? Shocking. Hope all the Visceral folks land on their feet. Those are the words of one Manver here. He is Mr. August on the Men of Game Dev calendar.
Oh, shit.
He's a mermaid. He is an indie developer who has worked on many bigger games as well. And he is here today in the studio for Waypoint Radio, episode 105 today. And it's Friday. 105?
I think we're odds on Mondays, evens on.
All right, then we're 106.
I think we're 106.
This is 106. I'm sorry, 106. I got so excited about the thought of you and your mermaid outfit that I just lost it.
It's a mermanvier.
Oh, excuse me, a
mermanvier.
mermanvier.
Is that why you went that direction?
It's really good.
I just can't get into that because to me it reads phony, nothing personal, but that's just what bothers me. He basically highlights some important beats in the rhythms of the game industry's heart that's currently going on now. Basically, EA and many other companies want to pump into that liquid gold of the players' pockets. As games become more expensive with $100 million budgets, publishers and investors want the maximum return for their investments. And believe me, a lot of them have been getting it. That's why the video game industry is bigger than anything else, because it makes the most fucking money. So they can't sit there and say they're not making money. Basically, they want their maximum returns for everything. That's why games that involve loot boxes, open worlds, where they can charge you to get more and more money out of you. Hare had this to say: this is definitely a thing inside of EA. They are generally pushing for more open world games, and the reason is you can monetize them better. The words EA use are, have them come back again and again. Why do you care about that, EA? The reason you care about that is because of microtransactions, people buying card packs for Mass Effect games and multiplayer, etc. That's the same reason why we had multiplayer in Mass Effect 3, right? To get people to keep coming back to a thing to just play for 60 to 100 hours. Hare, who worked at Bioware for 7 years. So this guy worked for Bioware for a while, long enough to see EA in its full glory around the time of Mass Effect 3. And in the sense of everything he's about to say, I've already said any gamer with a shred of common sense knows what EA was going for. The death of the visceral Star Wars game is a sign of the times. These companies and industries only care about one fucking thing, and that's milking you dry. And as much as I complain, as much as you may complain, as much as you try to educate people, the average person just doesn't pay attention. They don't give a fuck. The average person doesn't care until it's too late. That's usually how it rolls. Net neutrality. When we lose it, people will care when they can't stream Netflix all fucking night and binge watch. That's when people will start getting up in arms and going, Chaz, oh, what the hell happened to my internet? And I'll go, well, Rusty, I remember that net neutrality I was talking about and that Agit Pie dude? Yeah. Thanks for not helping me call congressmen in our local fucking legislation. And by the way, I have jury duty because they figured how to fix my little red wagon for fucking calling and complaining about shit. They put you right in jury duty. They're like, oh, you're aware. Aware you have jury duty now, Mr. Funny Man. Who do you think you are, Guy Fawkes? Go fuck yourself, Mr. V for Vendetta. He also said the problem is that we've scaled up our budgets to $100 million plus, and we haven't actually made a space for linear single-player games that are under that. But why can't we have both? Why does it have to be one or the other? It's simple, monetization. The reason why, I'll tell you right now, the reason why video games are so expensive is because the developers, the publishers, They focus more on chasing that beautiful carrot. They want hyper-realistic games, ultra-realistic. Have you noticed that the better the games look, the shittier the stories got? Everything went into what the game looked like and marketing for the game. That's where all the fucking money goes, those two spots. Everything else is by the wayside. Story, game mechanics, let's just get the people hyped enough to buy it. And have the game functional enough so they're willing to buy some bullshit card system, so we'll make even more money off these dumbasses. I mean, that's basically it. Gaming went from being an art form to just being another hoard out entertainment medium. That's pretty much it. I mean, I remember when I was a teenager, gaming was so full of stories, dude. Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, 10 was okay. Final Fantasy 11, Shenmue 2. Oh my god, what other games? Like, I'm drawing a blank right now like an asshole. It'll come back to me later, and I'm 100% sure of it. Knights of the Old Republic 2, Fallout New Vegas. And I'll just keep going on, because then I'll start waxing poetically about a time no one gives a shit about. Now back to what else he said. The reason is that EA and those big publishers in general only care about the highest returns in investments. They don't actually care about what the players want. They care about what players will pay for. Those are subtly different things. This is a perfect point right here. Anyone who's been playing games for long enough before loot boxes were a thing and day one DLC and all this other bullshit remembers a time when, you know, developers actually put out games that you wanted. Like the first Dragon Age was built on story. Like they were trying to rekindle and bring back games that I didn't even know existed. But it sounded so promising, I bought it on that reason alone.
Dragon Age is the spiritual successor to Baldur's Gate, which is also from Bioware. First off, it's got tactical combat that feels very similar to the way that the tactical combat worked in Baldur's Gate, except in Dragon Age, it's full 3D, so you can pull the camera back and you can adjust it around and have full control over the experience. Pause and play as well, if you really want to direct the actions of your party. The story and the narrative, the dialogue, the way that flows is going to be very reminiscent of Baldur's Gate, so fans that love that kind of storyline are going to enjoy Dragon Age Origins as well. And the team is the same. A lot of the same members that worked on Baldur's Gate, and Neverwinter Nights, and Knights of the Old Republic, and Mass Effect, Jade Empire, some of the great games that you love from Bioware are working on Dragon Age Origins. I think the world is going to feel, you know, really reminiscent as well. The dark heroic fantasy. Baldur's Gate you had a taste of that in that game. We're taking it to a whole new level in DAO. And of course, it's from Bioware, so it's the next fantasy RPG from Bioware, and we're going to make it our best game yet.
I'm a fantasy role-player game from way back, and Dragon Age Origins is exactly the kind of fantasy role-playing adventure that a gamer like me has been wanting for a number of years.
And I was not sorry. I did not regret buying Dragon Age. I bought Dragon Age, 3 times? Or 2. Had it on PlayStation 3, got it on PC, so 2 times. And the DLCs. No bones about it. Good game. No questions. If you make a good game, we will come and we will probably pay for it again because we'll move from a different platform. That's what these assholes don't see or care about. That if you give the people what they want, you could make money. But these assholes are so blinded by just sheer greed. That's all they have, that they don't care what they have to do to get it, they'll do it. It's a lot like our fucking government, really, and the oil companies. How come we always have fucking wars in third world countries that happen to be rich in natural resources? Am I the only one who notices this, or am I just motherfucking crazy? Because it makes some big cocksucker money at some board meeting on the 150th floor of some giant super building a shit ton of money. And the rest of us could go fuck ourselves. EA is second only to Activision, making billions every year from game sales and microtransactions. EA expects to pull over $5 billion in net revenue this fiscal year. So, once again, here's proof that EA is making way more money than they are spending. We all fucking know it. We know all these companies are making money, because if they weren't, they would cease to exist and they'd stop making games. So there's being money made. No matter what they do to fuck up the game, no matter what you tell them you want, they don't give a shit. They do what they want, and they'll wait for the yuppies and the casuals to come right in, buy it, and pay for it. They're making the money. So if they make $5 billion in net revenue, and let's say Star Wars, son of a cock, and let's say Star Wars actually cost only $100 million, I think they made a sweet fucking profit. After the original Battlefront was heavily criticized for its lack of content and season passes, basically Battlefront 1 was a shit snack show. EA wanted to see if we were dumb enough to take the bare minimum. They told you they had 3 bean soup, and literally they gave you a bowl with 3 fucking beans in it. And they were like, do you feel satisfied? And a few people bitched and they were surprised. EA listened to feedback and made big promises with Battlefront 2. But there's something they didn't tell us, something that I predicted and overcome. Oh, this is basically Tweaktown then goes on to say that they knew feedback and all this other stuff. Like Tweaktown knew they were going to launch microtransactions. Everybody and their mother knew that EA was going to put microtransactions in Battlefront 2. With the success of Overwatch and the fact that the alpha build was loaded with microtransactions, but people fucking forgot. And 2, Tweaktown, let's not play this sanctimonious pious shit. You motherfuckers put out an article sitting there talking about how much fun and how addicting Battlefront 2 is. Cut the shit, bitch. If you actually played that game, you would have been tired with it in 2 fucking hours. Don't play with my dick and tell me you're not a man dressed as a woman. What else this guy had to say? Here goes on to highlight the situation, explains in his own words, backed by years of working in the game industry. So what's really happening here with Visceral Games shutdown is you're seeing a very cynical view. I would say by EA, and you're going to see this from other publishers as well, in saying this stuff is dead. We need more Battlegrounds and more Rust and more Bioware new game, Anthem. Anthem, I said as soon as they put out the E3 trailer, I was like, this is the Division with mech suits. I even did a video where I showed that they used the same voice actors from the fucking Division in the Anthem video. How fucking pathetic. As if we're deaf. Anthem, honest to God, looks like the Division with mechs in it. I mean, who the fuck are we kidding here?
In the world of Anthem, you and your friends are freelancers, the heroes who leave the safety of the walls of Fort Tarsus to explore the unknown and protect humanity. Let's join 2 players as they head out on an expedition.
Hey, Paul. You ready to go?
We're just grabbing some supplies, just about ready.
What are you going to use today?
I decided to go with the Colossus.
I'm going to use my Ranger. Try out some new upgrades.
Civilians on the left. She's gone red. I'm low on packs, though. We have to leave it.
Alright guys, I got you on my map, so I will head your way.
Every player will own an array of exosuits we call Javelins. These suits give players superhuman capabilities and are heavily customizable so they look and play how you want.
Bam. Looking good. Nice. You've got a mortar equipped.
Yeah, I got it on the weekend. You lead the way, I'll follow.
Alright, let's check this out. Wow, yep. I'm gonna go in.
Okay. I've got my group heal loaded, so if you guys want to check your skills and switch it up, you can. Shot!
Nice shot. Yep. Okay, on the right, there he is.
Yeah, I got it.
The world of Anthem is hostile, and threats can come from any direction. This dynamic world where the unexpected is around every corner.
Yeah, he seems like a problem for another day.
Does the game industry think we're deaf, dumb, and blind? Nah, I'd say most casual gamers are. But those of us who aren't, it was ridiculous. It was almost insulting. It damn near borderlined on a joke. The same voice actor, the same sort of lame banter that doesn't happen in a game. No one called someone else a faggot. No one shot someone else in the back and said, oops, my trigger slipped. These people that they hire to play these games and seem like real gamers are so phony, it's as if I'm watching Twitch. Long story short, Anthem's gonna be loaded with microtransactions. Anthem's gonna be probably like some Destiny clone ripoff or something. And you know what? I don't give a shit. Because once Anthem comes out and it's the same shit as always, that will be the last nail in the coffin for Bioware. Because if that game tanks, Bioware's done. They're next to go. They already fired one of the creative directors for Bioware. So a lot of people are sitting there like, are we going to get another Dragon Age? Like, who the fuck cares? Dragon Age 1, masterpiece. Dragon Age 2, garbage. Dragon Age 3, better than 2. Still kind of garbage. It's like you went from having a good meal to being given a shit sandwich in a flaming bag to having less shit in the sandwich, and this time the bag wasn't on fire. And now you want to see if there'll be another one? Fuck it. Did you not see what the hell happened to Mass Effect? Forget it. It's over. Welcome to my world, bitch, where I won't get another fucking Knights of the Old Republic. You won't get another good Mass Effect or Dragon Age game. Live with it. Cry at night. Jerk off with your tears. Move on. That's what men do. I'm a little too far. Forgive me. Anthem isn't a traditional-looking Bioware game. That's obvious. Let's see. Austin talks about how Anthem is very similar to Destiny with online elements and possibly item monetization. And Maniver says, I'm not saying you're wrong. So there goes a guy from the inside basically going, yeah, everything you fear is true. Fuck, even radio hosts that are so sanitized that they almost seem like blank slates have enough cognitive ability to sit there and go, yeah, this looks like Destiny crap. Let's see, what else? So that is what you're seeing from a place like Bioware, owned by EA, a place where I worked for 7 years. If that's what you're seeing from Visceral now closing and going to this other Vancouver studio. Okay, so what this is boiling down to is the Star Wars game that's coming out is going to be revamped into, oh god, if they make this some sort of online multiplayer bullshit, man, they probably will. It's EA, they'll do it. They'll do it. It's fucking EA. That's like me sitting there going, Trump, if Trump puts out one more stupid insensitive tweet, man, look, why don't I fucking talk about my dog taking a shit on the carpet? It's gonna happen. Why fight it? As soon as Anthem was announced, all of those worries were surfaced, and now the industry seems to agree that Anthem is perfectly set up to be EA's Destiny contender that perfectly aligns with what the publisher does best, making money with long-term based video game experiences. I have a prediction. Anthem will crumble. It'll crash and burn. There's no way. I mean, there's just no way it's gonna go. There's already Warframe, it's free to play, but there's microtransactions in it, and people seem to be mad about it. I don't see something you have to pay for, then pay for microtransactions doing as well as something like that. On top of that, Destiny's already out. But there are people who are such diehard Bioware fans, it doesn't matter what the fuck they shit out, they still buy it, so I don't even know why I'm thinking about this from an objective point of view. This is just no way out. No wonder Michael Pachter's a games analyst and gets paid for it. The whole system's fucking screwed. Let's see, he continues to say, I think what it means is that the linear single-player AAA game in EA is dead for the time being. But this, Heron goes on to recount now history repeats itself in the game industry, and how id said linear FPS games are dead when he was making older Wolfenstein games. When Call of Duty 4 came out, it reminded everyone that FPS games weren't dead, and we were able to add more linear stuff to Wolfenstein to get it done. So every now and again, there are games that come out and remind everyone that no, they're not dead. If you do everything really well and nail it, you're not going to crush it, and you'll find an audience. If you look at the games that are being leaders, they don't really follow the trends. We have to be able to look at it that way and remind ourselves as an industry that we're not just about one type of game and that we can support multiple types of games. If EA's not going to do it, then other people are willing to fill those gaps and make a bunch of money. This is true. The industry, unfortunately, as I've said before, is incestuous and vain. And what I mean by that is whatever becomes the big thing, everyone follows. Remember Call of Duty, like they said. Call of Duty came in, Call of Duty 4 changed everything. Everything was like a Call of Duty clone. Call of Duty's dying. Now Overwatch is taking over. Now we got games that are like motherfucking Overwatch. The Witcher 3 came out, shook everybody's fucking balls up in the RPG realm. Now Assassin's Creed wants to be like The Witcher 3. Cuphead just really knocked everyone's balls off. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see more isometric 2D shooters, if that's the right term, in the future. I mean, the sad fact of the matter is, this is how big business works. They wait till someone else breaks the mold and then they all follow and copy. The music industry is exactly the same. It is exactly the same. Let's look at the banks. Remember Bitcoin? All the bankers shit on it. Now all of a sudden JP Morgan is kind of open to the idea of trading Bitcoin because their investors are interested in Bitcoin. And now, like, within fucking 72 hours, Bitcoin jumped from like $4,000 or something to $6,000. The second one person lets the door open, the whole industry changes in that way. Unfortunately, we're not going to have a whole bunch of rule beaters in the gaming industry because the only thing they care about is making money. And the video gaming industry is the most lucrative entertainment industry we have right now. Not movies, not music, not cable TV, not digital TV, not direct TV, video games. Hell, YouTube was doing pretty hot for a while till all that sort of apocalypse mess went on. Oh well, I've pontificated long enough because frankly, I don't know how long this video is. I can't see my timestamp. And just knowing that EA is making billions of dollars and they have the balls to kill a single player game because the industry has changed a bit just shows what scumbags they are. It shows how little the game industry cares about gamers. They don't give a shit. Perfect example, EA, Activision, all the big ones, Bethesda. Bethesda is like the newest kid on the block. They're now realizing they can piss in a pot, put a Vault Boy on it, and give it to most casual gamers, and they'll drink it thinking it's Nuka fucking Cola. And then you have a guy like me screaming in the background, "It's a bag of piss!" And they're like, "Shut up! I love this new Nuka Cola flavor. Thank you, Todd Howard and Pete Hines. You guys made the best game ever. I'm cosplaying as the Vault Dweller. Oh my god, I love it so much. I wish I could take the dude's lunchbox and beat him in the fucking skull with it. They have paid mods!" I guess that's assault. I guess I'm not helping if I beat the guy's skull in with a metal lunchbox. Shit. I really gotta work on my people skills. But point being, Bethesda makes hand over fist money, and they still introduce paid mods. They're making crazy money off Fallout. They make crazy money off of those like figures and stuff they sell of Fallout, the posters. They have the special Nuka Cola. They have coats, they have jackets, they have sweaters. They have those cheap ass plastic Pit Boys people paid out the nose for. They have vinyl records for the album. The phone app alone made multi-million dollars. They keep releasing Skyrim on every platform. They keep making money, and still, they looked at the PC gaming industry and said, we gotta find a way to make money off paid mods. We gotta, because it's a gold mine sitting right there. These will be our microtransactions. And the best part is they get other people to do the work and they pick up the check. They pay these motherfuckers pittance, fucking pennies on the dollar. And these fuckers take it. They take it like fucking jackasses. How much is your soul worth? How much is your creativity worth? A few $100? So these fucking cocksuckers could make thousands, if not more? And you sit there and think they're your friends. All these people think Bethesda's great. I can't believe there's still people sitting there telling me they're hyped for EA. Every time I see a tweet about Star Wars and I see all these people praising it, I sit there and I think, how blind do you have to be? How blind? It's like Visceral Games didn't close down. It's like nothing happened. They don't even realize. They don't even see it. It's like everybody forgot what EA did to fucking Bioware. They forgot what EA did to Mass Effect. They forgot already. It's sad. It's fucking sad, man. And I feel like there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just gonna watch a hobby I love die. We're all gonna watch it die. One day we're gonna be fucking old, dude, and we're gonna see kids paying to a pre-order just to buy the game, then pay to get a key to open the game, and then pay to be able to change like their UI or their font or something in the game. One day gaming's gonna be that, and we'll be the old people going, you know, back when we were playing video games, the worst we had to worry about was a loot box. I can actually give more of a shit than me in the age of apathy. Rate, comment, and subscribe if you so choose to. If not, that is perfectly fine. Share if you want. If not, to hell with it. But if you do so decide to follow me, just know that the more of you stands behind me, the louder my voice gets, and the less likely I can be ignored. And I refuse to be bought. I refuse. Believe it or not, there are some companies that reach out to me, and they try to get me to play their mobile games and have my audience download it and play it. So, yeah, now I know this is out of nowhere, but I was watching like this Twitch thing, and there was a commercial for some of these games that I turned down because they weren't that interesting. And I could not in good conscience go, well, I'll have my people check this out and tell them it's great, and that way I'll make money off of it. No, fuck that. Fuck that. My integrity does not allow me to do that. I'm not gonna sit there and tell these people this fucking mobile game makes your dick blow up, and it doesn't, just because I get paid. Fuck it. Soulless wretches. The gaming industry is full of thieves and charlatans, and then it's peddled by fucking internet shills that have no fucking soul. These cocksuckers are there for a fucking check, and then when they get it, they put up these stupid tweets. Look at my new, a super expensive sport car that you guys paid for, you fucker. Ooh, I hope you crash that shit and you break both your fucking legs. Gundam, you're a ball of fury. Adios, muchachos. I'm sorry. I got really mad.